we've spread this out.
Because it's the same theory. It has to, you have to...
From Christian Brothers Academy in DeWitt, New York. Today, it's high school boys lacrosse. The Red Raiders of Fulton take on the CBA Brothers. Today's action is brought to you by Onondaga Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center, Syracuse's answer to sports injuries. By Brine, the power behind the game. And by Ullman, the largest mail-order lacrosse company in the world. Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful day for lacrosse here at CBA. This is Dave Ryan alongside my broadcast partner, Joe Insel. And Joe, you talk about perfect weather. Forecasters in our area said about 70 degrees today. Make it more like 85, but it's been far from perfect in the area recently over the past couple of weeks, especially for Fulton. The two teams just have not had a chance to get practice and a lot of games in.
Well, Dave, you're right. This is the kind of day Syracuse and Central New Yorkers in general would like to put in a bottle and save, but neither team's enjoyed it. They've been having to go on parking lots in gymnasiums. Full field lacrosse is not something they've had a chance to enjoy, so this is going to be a treat for them as well as us.
Talk about styles. The two teams certainly differ. CBA likes to run and gun. Fulton a little more ball control, slow it down.
Well, that's an outcome we got of the discussion we had with the coaches earlier this week. In fact, CBA does like an unsettled situation. They do like to pump the ball up and down the field. Transition game, that's for them. On the other hand, you're going to find Fulton wanting, with strength in the seniors in attack and defense, a settled offense, a settled defense, half court, or should say half field game. Too much March Madness. But a half field game, and if they can get their way at the midfield and face-offs, that's what they're going to find.
All right, we are looking forward to it. Fulton CBA, and we're with the coaches right after these words.
Brine Lacrosse, the power behind the game.
And welcome back, everybody, to a suddenly very windy CBA. Beautiful day, though, for lacrosse. We're joined by Joe Bruning, the head coach of Fulton, your first year with the Red Raiders. Talk a little bit about your season so far this year, Coach.
Well, we've had one win and two losses. We had a good win against Salmon River in the Skinny Atlas tournament, and we've had some trouble with transition, playing, they were giving up goals transition-wise due to lack of playing fields, as unfortunately some people seem to do better with playing the short, or they obviously had more time on grass than we've had. You're right. But I'm pleased with our results so far. I thought that the two losses that we had were good losses, if there is such a thing. And our win was a very good win. We're not at the point where I would hope to be at this point, but I'm not going to complain too much.
Now, you told me earlier today when we spoke you didn't really have a chance to scout out CBA because of the way your season has gone and all the bad weather. How do you go into a game where you really don't know much about the opponent?
Well, we're just going to play our game and make adjustments where we feel that we have to make them, and hopefully if things go our way, we won't need to make too many adjustments.
Okay, let's talk about your key players. First of all, Chad Kimball.
Chad Kimball, he's a senior. He's one of our captains. He's a quiet leader, but he so far is our leading scorer and has the highest shooting percentage on the team. Overall, he's a great kid. He's epitomizes what a captain should be.
On the other side of the field, Mike Guerrera.
Mike Guerrera is probably our best defenseman. He's also a senior and an excellent captain. He's probably going to be the one who we're going to give the toughest attackman to.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's Joe Bruning, head coach of Fulton. In a couple of moments, Joe Insel returns. We'll have CBA's head coach Tom O'Hara right after these words.
Stepping back just a couple of picks to the 17th selection in the first round, with a pick originally owned by Washington, Atlanta. Their second selection going for Tim Green, linebacker.
After all these years in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons, I've taken my share of bumps and bruises. I know how important sports medicine is. That's why I recommend Onondaga Sports Medicine. Whether you're a professional or a weekend athlete, Don Lowe and his professionally trained staff at Onondaga Sports Medicine will treat you like a pro.
Welcome back. We're joined by Brothers head coach Tom O'Hara. Tom, one game under your belt, so it's not very easy to analyze the whole season for us, but what has that one game shown you in terms of what the team's strengths and weaknesses are?
It's shown us that we work much better as a team this year. We had 9 assists in our first game. I don't think we had that many in the first 4 or 5 last year. So we're moving the ball a lot better this year and playing good, solid offense.
You mentioned earlier in the week you like the transition style of play. The weather certainly ought to dictate that today. We almost got hit with a lacrosse ball.
Yeah, the weather's nice today, but the field's real wet. We've been taking water off it all week, but it's good to go, and we're going to try and get the ball moving upfield.
What do you see as an opponent in Fulton?
Fulton's got some big, strong kids. They're a little bigger than us physically. They got big guy, number 27, Colombe, I believe is his name. We're going to have to shut him down if we're going to win.
Face-offs will be key to you, do you think?
Face-offs will be key. We've got a good young man in David Hancock facing off for us. He's a sophomore. We got some fast guys on the wing to come pick it up when he wins it.
Talk about your key players. You both highlighted your co-captaincy attackman, Dave Viscom. Let's start with him, number 20.
Dave Viscom is a junior, returning from last year. He was a starter for us as a sophomore. He's got some quickness, some good skills. He's really doing well for us this year.
And the other man up front, close to the cage, Chris Bogle.
Chris Bogle, we moved him down to attack this year for a little more power in the offense. He's a big, strong kid. He's playing on the crease for us. 4 goals and 2 assists the other night, so he's doing the job.
You look to the attack for all the scoring then, obviously, not the middies?
We've got some real good middies. It's just that the other day they were giving us the openings on the crease, and we took them.
Well, Coach, wish you luck today. It's a beautiful day. Let's hope the field conditions stay prime.
Let's hope so.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
Well, you've heard the coach's perspective from both sides. In a little bit, we'll have the opening face-off and start the season for 1994 in lacrosse and Onondaga High School. Stay with us.
For the creators of the game, it was more than competition. It was a ritual of the spirit. For those who take the game seriously, there is only one place for sticks with custom designed and engineered pockets, protective equipment, team apparel, sportswear, custom clothing, and specialty items. Ullman Sports International. For the biggest and best catalog in lacrosse, call 1-800-BEST-STICK. We take the game seriously.
Welcome back to CBA, everybody. A beautiful day for high school lacrosse as the Fulton Red Raiders donning some new uniforms, Joe, that we have not seen in the past. Green with the red trim and red numbers. CBA, as we saw earlier, in the home whites with the traditional purple shorts.
Good you mentioned that because people will be adjusting their sets,
exactly.
being used to the red.
Well, we've done football in the past and lacrosse with Fulton also, and never seen the green unis before, so that's something new. The officials for today's game between the brothers and the Red Raiders, Paul Stockwell on the left, Charlie Miller on the right. And we are just about set to go from CBA, 10 minutes up on the first quarter clock. One problem early on that Coach Joe Bruning talked about when we spoke to him before the game was face-offs. His team comes in with a 1-2 record, having lost to Webster and Skaneateles. They only scored 3 goals in those 2 losses, and they beat Salmon River by the score of 8-6.
He made a point that CBA in their one game got 14 goals, and in 3 games his team got 11. But by their own admission, CBA played a Lafayette team that is, I should say, is in a rebuilding year, lost a lot of seniors. Head coach has only been there a very short time. A nice quality program from a school that's had lacrosse tradition for years.
Looking for opening possession, CBA on the move. And the brothers will control on the offensive end to start things off.
And we got a flag down already. It's going to be a penalty against Fulton.
Slow whistle. So man up coming up for CBA after Fulton can gain control. Mike Albany was the one who grabbed it. Off the face-off.
And they're out of the box, so the whistle will stop play.
There's the whistle.
That's a slash.
Slash call. So 1 minute man up approaching for CBA.
Looks like number 4. And just like that, the brothers are man up. Fulton wanted half-field offense, but I don't think they wanted to see it that fast in this way, being down a man.
Not quite that quickly. So we're just underway, 28 seconds in, and already CBA's got the man up. And the big advantage, we'll see if the brothers, under head coach Tom O'Hara, second season, can take advantage.
I wonder if that was the midfield inexperience, Chris Kozlowski getting that penalty so early. There's a shot.
Chris Bogle had a shot from the right wing early on, and a good play from Adam Crandall, the gold keep for Fulton. Long outlet pass toward the middle of the field, but CBA's Dave Hancock is there.
And got an offside on
Offside call.
CBA going
That's
for
right.
that loose ball, so it's going to be turned over. That's got to drive Coach O'Hara nuts. He had a man-up condition way down there, nice settled offense, getting ready to run it, and then they turn it over after a shot. That was not a very good outlet pass by Fulton, by the goaltender. He wants to look to a midi breaking upfield, but I didn't see any middies looking back to him.
So the Red Raiders will put it into play. Wally Metcalf, one of their top midfielders, who has 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points so far this year, and a foul called already. Technical push. A violation is going to come up against CBA, it appears, so Fulton will have a little bit of an advantage.
And they're equal right now. They're both down a man until Fulton can get the ball in the box to release the penalty that they had. Take a look at the push coming around to you. He's cutting, then he makes his turn, and right now from behind. A little bit too much momentum he gave him, too much help. As soon as they step in the box, it releases.
Dave Hancock, midfielder.
4 should be coming out there. They should release. There's your pump signal by Paul Stockwell. There you go.
So Fulton will work. Chad Kimball's another player to watch. He is the leading scorer and a captain. Talked about him as a key player before the game with Coach Bruning. He has 5 goals and assists coming in.
CBA went quickly from man to a zone defense, as you'll do on a man down.
Wally Metcalf, very patient. Shot put on and a good play made from Eric Labarge. In goal, he also tries for the long midfield outlet pass, and this time, well, it almost worked for a second there. Bodies flying everywhere.
Here's a loose ball push.
Dave Viscom nearly had a cross on that one. He is the top attack man for CBA. Number 20, and that was nearly a big breakaway.
Well, we're getting substitutions, Dave. I've seen 2 clearing passes by goalies that have not been on the mark. I know that a lot of that has to do with them out in the field all that much, but you got to communicate. If you're going to take a long pass out to the center of the field, you want them to have your middies looking to you.
Albany's into the game. This is Hancock on the right wing. CBA on the attack. Viscom around the cage. He's a player to watch, certainly on CBA's offense. Mike Albany. Left-handed cradle, and CBA works. Very patient game, so we've not seen a lot of action, really. A lot of motion from either side, Joe, early.
Well, they're testing the
good
water
feed inside. That was nearly a one-time play. Rebound by Hancock. That put just wide. That was actually Viscom who had a cross on it.
Nice look by CBA. Nice cut. Pass went awry, but it was a good look, and they'll try it again, I'm sure, to get the cutters.
Chris Bogle, penalty flags fly, and another violation upcoming against the Red Raiders. Hold. This is a technical 30-second violation coming up.
Both flags were for the same foul. I saw the officials look to each other, which is what they're supposed to do, and the near side referee says it is a hold, technical 30. And I think you can attribute some of the sloppiness. Take a look at that on the replay. The flag flies just as you see he's impeding his progress cutting through there. Could have been an interference, but they called it a hold.
Jamie Bracey was there making contact, along with Chris Kozlowski, number 4. Kozlowski checks into the game. So CBA will once again use that patient offensive attack and try to get things going. That's Dave Hancock as they swing it around the end. Viscom, good feed inside. That was knocked away off the cross of Chris Bogle. Good defense from the Red Raiders. And swooping it up is Jamie Bracey, number 29. Sloppy outlet pass. And the field, you can see, Joe, there's just no bounce with the ball at all. Inside, shot and a goal. Quick score from Mike Albany, number 27. Gets the first of the game with 7:06 left in the first period.
That was a pretty look, unsettled situation. You know, as you made the point, they were trying to clear. It was sloppy. They were man down, so Fulton should have had them all covered, but they didn't. There's a good look, nice shot. Just beat them low.
CBA, quick 1-0 advantage here in the first quarter. As we mentioned, the brothers just that one game so far this year due to all the terrible weather we've had in central New York this spring. We've had snow and rain and awful conditions. You know, it is balmy today. I'm not really sure if you can tell by the players' jerseys, but it's very windy here in DeWitt, up in the hills.
And you wonder if the wind's bringing a weather change. The forecast certainly suggests it. I think we're enjoying summer today, Dave.
CBA on the attack, that one beyond the end line. Brothers will control.
Nice job by the attack to stay behind and rotate.
Dave Viscom was there to back that one up. Good play made. Heath Dunning into the game on defense, number 14 with a long stick, seeing some action. And Viscom puts it into play behind the Red Raider cage. Already a 1-0 lead. That's Matt Smith, number 22, with a good feed inside. Bounce shot, steered aside by Crandall. Made a nice save on it. That one put right on net. And a violation as players flying all over the place right in front of the crease. And we will get a call coming up. Fulton has called a timeout. Joe Broning wants to talk things over. Joe, what did the violation shake out into?
I think he had hit him when he was on the ground, and if any part of the the player is on the ground besides his feet, that's going to be a 1-minute illegal body check.
So two sides will meet and talk things over.
You know, Bogle shot. He shot left-handed, and it was the camera was right over his shoulder, but he shot across his body, and in doing so, his plant foot was aimed away from the cross, and that's why his shot went wide. Anytime you watch a lacrosse player shoot a ball, his plant foot, when he puts his foot down, should be pointing at the target.
I talked about the condition of the field a minute ago, Joe, as we see Joe Bruning and the Red Raider huddle. Talking with Coach O'Hara this morning, he said that the field is about 50% in terms of being dried. In the creases, it's about 75% dry. So the middle of the field, and especially the midfield today, we're going to see that players are going to be sloshing around a little bit. And we'll take a look in a moment at that goal scored by Mike Albany, who put CBA up 1-0 with a nice shot inside.
Well, first of all, he made a little subtle move. The defender froze, and then he was beat. So Albany just kept his cutting to the crease. Defender had to just make a swing with his stick. That wasn't effective enough, and he just went in there unimpeded.
So it will be interesting to follow how the goaltenders do in their creases, what kind of traction they've got, and how they can make their saves. Coach O'Hara said they've been squeegeeing out all the water and moisture that has built up. We had terrible rains earlier this week, Tuesday. It just poured all day long in the morning for about 3 straight hours.
That aside, the Alibrandi Field here is just an incredible facility for high school sports. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
The CBA in the attack, but a mistake made at the top of the box. Briefly by Hancock, who regains possession.
Got to keep your feet moving when you're passing and catching. If you're flat-footed, you're going to drop the ball. It's axiomatic in lacrosse.
They're going to run the offensive set one more time. Steve Zepp in the game along with Smith around the perimeter. They work back to Dave Hancock, top of the box.
A lot of standing around on white. Got to get people moving, making their cuts. There you go.
Try to get a shot off, but Zepp was blocked from behind. Good defense by Fulton, and the Red Raiders try to break out.
They should double the ball because Fulton is man down right now.
Having problems with the Rye defense. That's intercepted by Dave Hancock.
Good hustle by the green shirts. There's a hold.
That'll be a hold and a technical coming up. Slow whistle, penalty going against CBA.
And Fulton releases, so they're going to be right now even until the whistle stops play.
Wally Metcalf, top of the box, good feed, bounce shot. That's saved, though, nicely by Eric Labarge. So penalty coming up, and that will go against CBA. So man up as Jake Mihalik's shot was stopped nicely by Eric Labarge in the crease. Here's a look.
Number 33 held him, and he breaks away. You see the flag fluttering. You saw the tail end of it, but he'll break right down there. And once he steps across that line that you see there, that releases the penalty, gets Fulton at full strength, and that's when they just were even up for that length of time until the penalty whistle.
Another player to watch on offense for attack, Chris Colomb, who is a very good scorer, and he was the player that Coach O'Hara was most concerned with because of his size. So he wanted to use his best defenders against Chris Colomb all day long here at CBA. And here he is, top of the box, trying to get a shot off. Ball is just not bouncing. Anytime it's overthrown, usually it's going to stay in play, Joe, because of the field conditions, the way things are.
They're kind of floating their passes. They've got to get a little bit more deliberate when they pass and catch here. That'll come with time. Got to step through the ground ball. There's a push, a loose ball push. And it's on CBA, so we're going to stay green.
Fulton will retain possession in the offensive zone. 4:47 to go here in the first quarter. A 1-0 CBA lead. Not a lot of offense so far. A very deliberate attack from both teams. And I'd imagine that Fulton would like to be in that position. Joe, only a goal down, certainly right in this game, as Chad Kimball, captain on the attack, will start things off.
Very much in this game, and I like what I see the way Fulton's moving around. Oh, those players without the ball are just making cuts, breaking away.
Colomb had that one broken up. Good defense on the far side by CBA. Still looking for possession. And Fulton in the offensive area will keep it. Lost it for a moment, though. Good poke check from behind as Metcalf had it on his cross. Batted away. Good play by number 33, Sean Milligan. Chris Kozlowski with it. Controls top of the box as Fulton tries to tie this game up, get on the board.
Out of pressure on defense by CBA, right at the top of the box.
Good pass
right
inside. Chad Kimball just had his shot stopped cold by Eric Labarge. Kimball kind of turned and fired without really looking at the cage. There's a bounce shot put on. Tough play by Wally Metcalf, broken up again by Labarge. Good pressure by Fulton, though, getting a lot of shots off. Try to feed inside of Kozlowski, comes through the crease. Fulton again on the attack. That one batted away. And we may have a slash coming up. Penalty's going to go against Fulton. It'll turn things over. So the Red Raiders with a good attack. Joe had a couple of good shots on the bars. They were peppering the net there for a moment. And we've got a slashing penalty. 1 minute will go against the Red Raiders.
Good look, Dave. You spotted that as soon as it was called. You're right. They did have a couple good looks at the crease. But the defense on CBA had their sticks up where they should be so they could do stick checks and deny the pass.
There's
your
was.
slash.
No question about it. Wally Metcalf, number 22, key player on the midfield for the Red Raiders, whistled for the penalty. So CBA already with a 1-0 lead, trying to take things into their own hands, get another goal. Hancock will trigger play, top of the box. Careless play, though. CBA, as you mentioned, Joe, having some problems with passing and movement. Steve Zepp, good defense.
What do you call it, spring fever, when people are kind of lethargic? This is not a time for a lacrosse player to be lethargic.
Mike Guerrero broke that one up, made a nice play defensively. Brad Acomb has got it. He lost it. 3 minutes now left in the first period. Players battling right along the sideline. It stays in bounds somehow. Timeout called by CBA. Chris Bogle had a cross on that one, and they were just getting their attack reset. Coach O'Hara didn't like what he saw, so he will stop the clock and take a look.
2:55 left, 1-0. Low-scoring game, and not too uncommon for a Fulton team, I guess, based on the character they've established for the season so far. But a very prolific scoring effort by CBA the last time and the only time they were out. But they're coming up, with only one goal for this period. So Fulton split with the long sticks on the left with assistant coach John Mercer, and on the right, Joe Brunig with the attack and the shooters. Different philosophies, sharing both of them.
Talked earlier about the goaltenders, Joe, and how they're going to get their feet set in those creases. Here is Labarge with a nice play early on in this game.
Well, he steps out to meet the shot. That was a nice look by him. It was a shot from off to the side. It was good perspective from behind the cage. The goalie stands flat-footed. He's going to have a problem. But Labarge stepped out to the ball, cut the angle a little bit, made a save. Shirt sleeve crowd, something I don't think I would have thought of on Monday. I don't know about you, but I was scraping ice off my window 4 days ago.
Unbelievable turn of events here in Central New York. We can only hope it lasts, but somehow, I bet it won't.
After this winter, I think we earned it. So
2:55 to go after the CBA timeout called by Coach Tom O'Hara. They've got the ball on the offensive end. Still up a man off that Chad Kimball, or rather the Wally Metcalf slash. On the attack, CBA shot. That was sticked aside. Good defense and a play by Crandall, but a rebound and a goal.
Good heads-up play by the close.
They kept right with it. Crandall had the good look at the first shot, but in the second time, CBA comes through.
First thing, Bogle takes a shot with nobody on him. He could have stepped a little bit closer to the crease, just lets it sail, and then the rebound shot, CBA heads up. Look at this. Nobody's on him. He could have stepped in about 10 feet and then take the shot. He didn't, but the ball bounces out, and there's heads-up play. Nice little rebound shot. The goalie comes out to try to check him. Didn't do it fast enough. Good heads-up play by CBA.
Kevin Langen gets the goal, number 34. And that makes it a 2-0 game with 2:43 to go here in the first period. Good hit made near midfield as the two teams battle for the face-off. Bodies falling all over the place. Still no possession for either team. Rob Paltz battling at midfield, and eventually CBA comes away with it. Matt Hennessy on the right wing. And CBA one more time on the attack. Smith gets a pick. Try and get a shot off. Lost a couple defenders, but they work it back out front.
Fulton was lucky because no one called out that there was a pick there, and it was a very effective one.
Paltz takes out his man. Good checking by both sides. Officials letting him play a little bit, Joe. Pretty physical game out there.
Well, they did get some control early on. They called a couple pushes, and they did make them aware that the striped shirts were out there, but now they're letting them play.
John Warwick also seeing some time. Top of the box. Both teams battling for possession, and Fulton tries to break away. Terry Fistick trying to bring it to the offensive zone.
Held on a little bit too long. He should have dished off to another green shirt.
1:30 and counting now left in the first quarter. CBA brings the other way. John Warwick, little bounce shot. Good play made by the goaltender Adam Crandall, who kept that stick down on a bouncer. I don't think he thought that Warwick was going to shoot underhand the way he did.
Yeah, very lucky. He was kind of daydreaming a little bit too, but he had the stick in the right spot. You know, Dave, it's early, only 1:08 left in the first period, but with the heat today and these kids not being used to it, we'll see what conditioning they've got on either team by the time the fourth quarter comes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a factor. No question about that. Now in the offensive zone, Chris Colomb with it.
Good pressure by the D. Nice job. Good
Backing
position.
In. Good feed in front. Shot nearly put off by Kimball. Labarge had a cross on it for a moment, then lost it. Eric Labarge battling inside the crease, and he finally rakes it in. But his outlet pass too high. Shad Hannerhan on the far side finally was able to pick it up for CBA with a long stick, and the brothers have it again on the attack. Matt Smith tries to set it, cutting in front, nearly got a shot off. That was Chris Bogle. As we're down to 6 seconds left in the period, that shot fired a little bit wide by number 27, Mike Albany. Already has one goal in this game. 4 seconds to go in the first period. 2-0 CBA on top.
Fulton switches their midfield. Now bringing another long stick in, so they got the maximum of the 4 out there. Probably going to pressure the ball with 4 seconds.
Viscom will start, tries to pass top of the box for cutting Chris Bogle, but it goes over his cross. And the ball will die there right in between the midfield stripe and the top of the box. So we're done with 10 minutes of play from CBA. Our score is 2-0, the brothers over the Red Raiders after 1 period. So far, Joe, pretty good lacrosse game between these two teams. And we're back with second period action after this.
Lacrosse, the power behind the game.
Back at CBA, you can see how blustery a day it has become, especially up here in the hills of DeWitt. It is really breezy. I'd say it's probably picked up to about 20 miles an hour.
That means the wind chill is about 70?
Don't say that.
I'm so used to the term.
Otherwise, a beautiful day. 84 degrees, a high today here in central New York, which is remarkable for any date in April, or May for that matter.
Yes.
Remarkable. Two teams will switch ends. There you see Adam Crandall in goal for Fulton. Did pretty well. Stopped a couple of nice shots that were tossed at him. Albanian Langan scored in the first period for CBA to make up all of our goal scoring so far in the game.
Both shots from the midfield from CBA, even though that second shot by Langan, he was right in front of the crease. The middies had sagged in real close. If there was any kind of a ball pickup by the Fulton goalie, then CBA was vulnerable to a fast break by Fulton.
Set for the face-off to start second period action. Whistle blown by the official. Possession will go to CBA. Violation right off that face-off, Joe, against Fulton.
The wing middy on the near side stepped over the line before possession was, or the whistle blew, I should say.
Romulo Casano was the one handling face-off duties for CBA. Now the brothers and Dave Hancock in the offensive end. Matt Smith around the box. Trying to score again on Crandall. They put 2 by him already. Chris Bogle's a big scorer. We haven't seen him put 1 in yet. Only a 2-0 game, so CBA not yet run away from Fulton. Good physical defense as Albany pays the price inside. Ball popped out of the cross, though. The Fulton defender. Ball still inside. A little backhand shot just missed by Bogle wide. He was upset at himself for missing a wide-open net.
Nice look by Viscom to go behind and pick that up. You know, Viscom was alone for about a couple minutes, or not quite a couple minutes, but for a long time, his defender had left him alone and didn't know where he went.
Albany's shot was stopped by Crandall, made a good play. Looked for an outlet, but a procedure violation will go against Fulton as they couldn't get things going on the clear attempt. And it'll turn it right back over to CBA.
That's an early season mistake. He's got 4 seconds to get the ball out of the cross, or I should say, out of the crease, and he stayed in there too long.
So Matt Smith will trigger play on the near side.
He's got to step out of the box. That's what Jeff Hallmiller is asking him to do.
Brothers on attack. Viscom tried to get it in front, falling, shooting. That was deflected. Good defensive play made. Mike Guerrero was there for Fulton, one of the defensive captains for the Red Raiders. 8:47 left here in the first half. 2-0 game. Brothers on top. Division II matchup.
One of the things you like to see is, and you'll see this as the season goes on, as we take a look at the shot on the replay, the offense has to balance up. And in CBA's case, once the shot is taken, you're going to find there's nobody behind for the white shirts to back up the ball. See, number 11's the closest one. Nobody was behind. You need to balance up behind and up top.
Guerrero, the defensive captain, just brought it right into the offensive zone and ripped the shot off. That one just wide of the goaltender, Labarge. Coach Joe Bruning hoping for a second win of the year. His team 1 and 2. Fulton in the offensive zone. Red Raiders try to make things happen. That shot bounced wide.
Kind of an awkward shot, Dave. He was shooting off his back foot. He really didn't step into the shot, but maybe he figured he'd get an element of surprise.
Labarge has had a couple of tests so far. One nice shot put on by Chad Kimball, where he turned and shot it right off the stick. Otherwise, not too many challenges.
They got to penetrate there. CBA is saying shoot from way out if you want, but we're not giving them the shots up close. Well, until then, but that pass went off. But
that was the play they certainly wanted. Brad Acomb couldn't quite control it. Shad Hanrahan behind the CBA cage, and there's a violation called, and that is going to go against CBA, it appears.
I don't know if you heard that in the background. They were saying, let them substitute through the cone area, please. They want the subs coming in and out of the box, or I should say the penalty area in front of the scorer's table, not just ambling on the field from anywhere.
The Red Raiders try to get things going with the offense. They've not had much success so far. Just as I say that, they bounce one in. First goal of the game put home. Chris Colomb bounces one from a very tough angle. And with 7:53 to go in the second period, it's a 2-1 game.
Well, that's Chris Colomb. He's going to be at a position where Ramiro Canzano seems to be almost screened, and he just skims it along the ground. The ball takes a funny bounce and just goes right inside. Watch this. He's going to be up there. You get the position where he's free. Now he's got a chance to crank because Canzano backed off him a little bit. Not sure which way he was going.
Wally Metcalf is going to hop in and grab that one. Violation called against CBA off that faceoff. And now with 7:47 to go, second quarter, a 2-1 game. So it is a new game. And that's got to give the Red Raiders a lot of confidence, Joe, this stage of the afternoon.
Oh, and then not having to go through a faceoff and having the ball on their end of the field, sure, that does. And all they got to do is just test the defense, let them overplay now, maybe. There's the double. Where did the double come from? They look, and that was perfect, textbook way. The double came up from down low, and they just looked to the place where the double came from.
Big time hit by Wally Metcalf. He decks the CBA player. Steve Zepp hit the turf hard. And the brothers look to break out. That one just over the cross at Dave Hancock at midfield. Very physical game. Players getting hit left and right. Hancock shake up a bit after that battle right near midfield. Another nice hit. Fulton doing the job of the hits. Guerrera got a lick in there a moment ago. Chris Colomb, who scored for his 4th goal of the season a couple seconds ago. Left-handed cradle, battling in, getting off a shot, scored again. Chris Colomb does it one more time off the attack. He runs the offense. It was a player Coach Tom O'Hara of CBA was very worried about coming into this game, and you can see why.
Well, Colomb just had faked him out, I think, being able to shoot from the left with his left hand. Just rolls off. Nobody was on him. Nobody had pressure on his cross, so he was able to get the shot off. Take a look at there. He's got the defender beat by a step already, and he just makes a nice over-the-shoulder, overhand shot.
Hancock will try to take the face-off from CBA. And we are tied at 2-2, so certainly a new game. Dan Sturgis, who also can play goal, handles face-off duties for Fulton, and they nearly win that one, but it comes away to CBA. Mike Albany already has 1 goal. Good feed inside. Great pass for Smith. We may have a crease violation first, though. That will be the call against CBA.
That whole transition from the face-off right down to the shot was exactly what CBA got on the board so much on last time they played. They come in off the face-off, and then you can see the shot from behind. See, he stepped in the crease. Had he not done that, had he been back another step, that was a beautiful look.
6.5 to go here in the first half. And off the crease violation, Adam Crandall, who Coach Joe Bruning calls very intensive goalie. Tense player, sometimes so much so that he likes to become another defender and get out of the crease. Very aggressive player. He had 12 saves in that loss earlier in the season to Skaneateles. Long outlet pass. That goes wide out of bounds. Not an accurate play. And it'll turn back over to CBA.
I thought for a minute that Crandall had stepped in and out of the crease, Dave, when he was just juggling the ball back there. His back foot came up, it looked like. So I thought he was in and out, but maybe from my perspective, from this distance, I was a bit off.
Because well, the old official sees him from every angle, right, Joe?
Oh, it's easy to call a game from up here. Get down on a field where all the mayhem is going on and then try it. That's
and
so
especially a game like this, Joe, with all the hitting.
Oh, yeah.
It's been very physical, no doubt. Albany, who's one of the quarterbacks on for offense, another big lick inside as Steve Zepp again was hit hard. Battle for it. Players really come down to strength. This is where the off-season strength programs come in very handy when the ball's on the ground.
Fulton dodged a bullet twice. We had 2 very unsettled situations where CBA loves to, or thrives on it.
Another violation. He came right out of that crease illegally. So procedure violation goes against Fulton, and the goaltender, Adam Crandall, will take a look, Joe.
Watch his feet. He's out, he's in. Can't do that. You got to watch that trail foot, and some of the kids, you know, just got to get used to it. Got to know where you are.
Matt Smith will trigger play. CBA trying to attack Chris Bogle on the left wing. Albany was open. Bogle trying to get off a shot. Fed instead.
Nice opportunity for a cutter from the other side.
Smith from behind. They try to get Bogle, who's cutting in front. It was broken up. Good defense. You could hear some of the fans telling Adam Crandall not to go back into his crease.
They're very vocal.
They're very vocal. Good supporters, but that one out of bounds. So another clear attempt is scuttled. Red Raiders will turn it back over to CBA. We've got 4:49 left, first half. Game tied at 2. What a job from Chris Colomb. Fulton, 2 goals. And that's also something you mentioned earlier. And there you see some stats put up there that Coach O'Hara was worried about. That Colomb is a left-handed shooter, and that can be very difficult to stop if you're not accustomed to defending that side.
That's true. If they don't have any left-handed shooters on their team when they're practicing in the gym or whatever, they're not used to expecting the shot going in that direction, I should say.
Viscom around the cage, battling for position, and they'll reset the offense. Matt Hennessy to John Warwick. Some second-team attacking midfielders on the field now for Tom O'Hara's team. Warwick driving through, got a lane, scores! John Warwick. That's his first goal of the game. And it's a 3-2 contest now with 4:18 to go in the second quarter.
He went through the defense like a hot knife through butter. I can't believe it. He penetrated, and they just allowed him to cut through there. Nobody comes in to peck up. Close defense doesn't come up to shut him off fast enough. Everybody's a little asleep on that sequence. Watch this. He goes right down there. He's got his man beat. A whip check. They come out, but the defense doesn't come out to it. One defender makes a token check. The other one extends the stick. You got to go out there and put body on him when he's that close.
Dan Sturgis again at midfield. He battles along with Hancock for the face-off, and a procedure violation is called against the Red Raiders.
See the face-off mid. He lifted his cross when Paul Stockwell had told him to set. And you don't move until the whistle blows. And obviously some of the anticipation just twitched a bit, and that's too long.
Dave Hancock into the offensive zone, top of the box, trying to set the offense. Steve Zepp working around the offensive area. Chris Bogle with it. He had 4 goals and 2 assists, 6 points in the win against Lafayette. Lost that one, though, poked away for a moment. Bogle tried to regain in the corner. Good defense from the entire Fulton group today. Guerrera, Strattinger, and Jamie Bracey have done well.
You know, Coach O'Hara was talking about Joe Bogle and how he's been 3-year varsity. The family's moving to Connecticut, so he's losing him. He won't have him in the 4th year. He's got mixed emotions.
.345 to go, first half. One thing the Red Raiders, Joe, have not done particularly well today is the clear. The right defense has been effective, causing a lot of turnovers from the Red Raiders, so they want to avoid that here.
Well, they have to be patient. There's a mistake by CBA.
Strattinger.
Bogle left him all alone.
With a long stick. Good pass. Shot and a goal. Chad Kimball. The captain on attack was wide open in the crease, only about 5 yards in front, and what a play by Mike Strattinger, who started the whole thing.
Exactly. Give the credit to the clearing pass right to the mid of the field, and that clearing pass just set up the unsettled situation and capitalized by Fulton.
Mike Strattinger with a beautiful feed. He was wide open, and even more open was Chad Kimball, one of the key players, Coach Joe Bruning's team, and it's tied 3-3.
We just talked about how Bogle was having praise heaped on him by the coach, and then he just dropped the coverage on the midfield right there. It's an unfortunate mistake.
So once again, we are tied 3-3. Domination face-off so far for CBA, Joe. They've really had the advantage. That helps so much when you're trying to set the offense and get some flow going. Albany with it. He is open. Ducks a couple of defenders. Made a great play just to get this far. It's still loose in front. Still loose and no possession. And eventually it comes away to the goaltender, Adam Crandall.
Nice job by Crandall. He realizes he's got a lot of room behind the crease, and he breaks that way when he doesn't have an outlet pass.
Mike Guerrera, defensive captain with a long stick, slowly working it up. They're right where they want to be, Joe, tied at 3 late in the first half.
Teams match up pretty well, Dave. In fact, last year they split. Not to suggest that these teams are the same as the teams last year, but they did split in the 2 meetings. There you go.
Hancock came away with it. Great feet in front. Shot and a goal. Dave Viscom gets it. Little bouncer. Crandall went for the big play, and it came away to Viscom, who just put it right to the wide open net. And it's a 4-3 game. CBA up with 2:22 left in the first half.
Crandall had to make the step out because nobody was on Viscom. That's the close defense made a mistake right there because they left a man open. The only thing the goalie can do is to step out and try to cut the angle or put a body on him. Couldn't move fast enough. The mistake there, the long stick, the close D.
So once again, we have a lead change. CBA was up 1-0, 2-0. Cologne scored twice to tie it. Then Warwick scored to make it 3-all. Chad Kimball countered for Fulton to tie it at 3, and Viscom gets the goal for CBA once again to make it 4-3. Fulton's been tied a couple of times and never had the lead in this game. CBA one more time coming away with a face-off. Warwick already has 1 goal, trying for 2. He's still in there. Broken up. Crandall nearly had it broken up again. Now Crandall, as we said, an aggressive player out of the crease. That may have cost him, though, nearly broken up on a good play by Chris Bogle. Red Raiders come the other way, try to set things up. Chris Colomb already with 2 goals in the day. Very dangerous player, as we found out. He'll set top of the box.
They know they got to overplay him to this left side because he'll go lefty. We know that now.
Tom Blazinski, top of the box, also there. The Red Raiders will set things up and get it going. James Wright seeing some time. Slow whistle, penalty call, holding violation, 30-second technical. And the Red Raiders have a man up.
CBA was playing defensive pretty well at that time, too. They were pretty much in good position. And take a look, the pass will go down, and then just as they do that, he comes out and tries to creep over him with a stick check, but he got him caught.
Minute 23 left in the first half, 4-3 game. Brothers over the Raiders. But CBA will try to avoid a great opportunity here as Chris Kozlowski, who's also at the top of the box. They've got a man up and a good chance to tie the game again. Cologne, they went high this time. Shot by Metcalf was stopped a little too far away. Long outlet pass toward the center of the field is picked off. Red Raiders and Guerrera, great feed in front. Shot that one, stopped. Kimball had a point-blank shot right against Eric Labarge, but he stopped him cold. Timeout called. Did they get it in time? That's the question. They did. So timeout call by Fulton with 52 seconds. I think it's a good call, Joe, by Joe Bruning. His team in good position, only down by a goal here, less than a minute to go, and a chance to set, think about what they want to do here in the final minute of play.
It was good heads-up play leading up to that timeout, too. The clearing pass out to the center of the field, the long stick jumps over, and the midi has the presence of mind to just get back so they're not offside as a team.
52 seconds to go in the first half. The Raiders meeting. Talking about how to get things going. Here is a good push, and look at this shot and save moments ago.
Nice look to the crease. Nobody on him. The defense tries to pinch. CBA dodged the bullet there by heads-up job by the goaltender.
A happy young lacrosse fan enjoying the great weather.
Beautiful child.
Fulton fan or CBA fan? That's the question. Got the green on. New colors, could be. And the other folks really enjoying this balmy day. What a break. Not a cloud in the sky. It's just beautiful today. So off the timeout. Coach O'Hara's
Steve Chambers, the assistant coach. Steve Chambers is a member of, or one of the officers for the Central New York Lacrosse Foundation. Steve has been assistant coach now for a couple years with Tom O'Hara, the two of them putting this program back on track.
Clock on the field, under a minute to go. First half.
There you see him with a little bottle of water. The unsung heroes in lacrosse, the stat girls. And,
usually it's cold and they're all bundled up. They've got some tarp over them or something. That
everything they own, they bring, cover up, and here they are
Not so bad today, finally. Metcalf works top of the box. Down to 40 seconds. Kozlowski lost it. Good play made, and CBA's Dave Hancock will break out. He's got a full head of steam.
Nice check. Draw somebody. Draw somebody. There you go. Good
pass as he got it to Bogle, who lost it off his cross for the moment. Guerrera had a chance at it. Bogle in front. He was open. He was wide open, but he lost control. Very physical play. Wally Metcalf just outside the box. Loses, and Bogle's got it with 15 seconds left, and CBA will do exactly what Fulton did a couple moments ago. They'll call a timeout here.
15
seconds. A
seconds.
chance to talk things over. Set one final play here in the first half. The brothers enjoying a 4-3 lead after that goal at the 2:22 mark by Dave Iscombe. He had 3 goals, 2 assists against Lafayette in their win moments earlier in the season. So one game so far this year that has not been rained or snowed out.
It was raining earlier in the week, though. Who knows what's going to be next week?
You got it.
Of course, I heard the forecast for tomorrow. Some tropical storm will come blowing through or something.
Something along those lines. After one quarter, Joe, it's 2-0. CBA led Fulton, but the Red Raiders have played very well. 3 goals here in the second period. They made adjustments.
Level of aggression picked up, too. In the first period, I think we made the comment they were very lethargic, both teams, kind of going through the motions, defensive, letting people cut. Now and then you're seeing evidence of that, but less so as they get more and more into the game, into the flow of the game. As I said, that comes with time. You begin to know how to play as a team, how to gel as a group, and get to anticipate each other's moves.
As we said earlier, Fulton has just not had a chance due to all the poor weather in the area to play a lot of full field lacrosse. Coach Bruning said it is difficult to get a full field in the area up there. So give them a lot of credit for playing as well as they had in this game. Albany around the cage, under a minute left. Good poke check from behind. Sturgis is going to draw a foul, though. We've got a holding technical call against Sturgis.
It's a technical foul with 5 seconds left. So what they could do is hold on to the ball and avoid having to have a face-off at the beginning of the next half. We'll see if they do that.
Only 5 ticks on the clock to go first half.
We'll see when the ball's put in play if Bogle runs away from the defense and holds on to it.
Clock is on the field. The officials will hear it count down.
Oh, I guess he said that was a hold when the ball was loose.
Bogle lost that one as it went a little too high for Dave Hancock, and we were done with first half of play from CBA. On a picture-perfect day for lacrosse, it's a 4-3 score. Brothers over the Raiders. We're back with second half action right after this. Stay with us.
We love lacrosse! Because Lacrosse Magazine is a source for men's and women's lacrosse.
Because I still love the game so much.
Because every coach should be a member.
They make things happen.
This is awesome, man. Look at that check. I was at that game. Where was it? Magazine's cool.
Have to take their children back and raise them the way they were raised.
What really bothers me about drugs, and maybe this is foreign to say, it's a business. It's a big business.
Go against that advice to serve alcohol. We chose not to.
The exciting point for us is that they're actually giving the kids skills to work with their peers and let them be models of how do we resolve our conflicts.
Welcome back to CBA, everybody. Halftime score of 4-3. One of the key plays, Joe, in the first half. This nice goal by Chad Kimball, number 11 of Fulton.
So you see the check by the CBA defender, but Kimball keeps going, has a step on him. Nobody's got a stick on his cross, and he gets a shot off. Defense lulled to sleep there. On the other end of the field, CBA makes a cut. They dish over here, and no one's on him, so the goaltender's got to step out there to try to deny the shot, but he doesn't get out there fast enough.
That was the goal from Dave Viscom.
Nice offensive looks by both teams, but defensive laps by both teams. We look at the statistics. Shots on cage, there haven't been all that many, and almost even up. Ground balls, CBA didn't seem to me to be that aggressive, but they're coming up with the ground balls. Penalties, look at that. A lot of time so far, and success on man-up goals just haven't been there.
Looks like a warding off call is going to go against CBA and Matt Smith, who was driving around the cage while we were looking at the stats. So turnover just a few seconds into the second half.
Yeah, just pushing off with his free hand. You can put that arm out there, but it's got to be locked in place. You can't just move away, and you can't move the defender's stick.
So the Red Raiders will try for a clear, dangerous play. Guerrera there, though, to scoop it up.
Nice job on the ride by CBA to force exactly what CBA wanted, a long pass.
And there it is. The bad pass, but luckily for Fulton, that was tipped on the way by. It looked like Mike Albany got a piece of it. So the Red Raiders get a break. They get to advance a little bit closer to their goal, trying to clear it out.
Again, a mental lapse, allowing the long stick to get that free pass.
Mike Stoutinger with a long stick got into the offensive zone. Good play made in the near side. Excellent stick work by Colombe, who saved that one. Labarge trying to rake it in. He'll do so in the crease. High, long outlet pass, nearly broken up. That was almost intercepted.
Should have been intercepted. He just floated that out there like a, wounded duck.
Nearly picked off by Chris Kozlowski. Kimball already has one goal in the game, had a cross on it. Offside call goes against CBA. So the Red Raiders take over. We're a minute 15 into the second half. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard our high school lacrosse coverage. 4-3 game. Chris Colombe trying to tie it up. Already has a couple goals, spinning, shooting, and a good save by Labarge, who was there that time. Had the cross in the right place. That time he anticipated Joe very correctly. He'd go high.
What added to the situation and made that save even better or more spectacular is the sun was right in his eyes.
Yeah.
The angle of the shadows show you that Labarge was looking right into the sun when he made the save.
Romolo Casano trying on the outlet pass, but out of bounds. Sean Milligan, who is a captain, 6 foot, 195-pound senior on defense, steps in the sideline and turnover back to the Red Raiders. Chris Kozlowski will inbound on the far side. Steve Zepp drops back on defense. Kozlowski, top of the box, trying to get a shot off. He may just do it, that one high and wide. Who is closest, though, as it goes out of bounds? CBA will be there. Good job by Labarge, also Romolo Casano.
Kozlowski allowed the defender to pick up or come up real close to him. He felt body contact, then he made a burst of speed and he had him beat, but he didn't have the shot on target. If Zepp's going to play him so hard and so close up on the top of the box, he's going to take advantage of that.
8 minutes even left in the third quarter. Eric Labarge, who had 12 saves against Lafayette in CBA's only game of the year, a victory. Played varsity as a freshman, and Coach O'Hara said he just needed some more experience, so they put him on JVs last year and did very well. Junior varsity level, and graduated up to the varsities this year to be the starting goalkeeper. Excellent play made. Going up high for that one was Albany, who lost it, though, at the last moment. Kimball regains. He'll try to bring in the other way. Albany's slashing at him a moment near the top of the box. Kimball with it. He's got a lot of size, got the big size advantage. That helps. Colombe, good underhand pass. Excellent feed. Back to Kimball. He and Wally Metcalf were bringing into the zone. That was Metcalf who brought it in over the midfield line moments ago.
Loose ball push, so it's going to stay green. One of the things I noticed is Fulton does not have balance behind the cage. So if there's a shot, there's a chance that CBA will back up and get the ball in transition.
Metcalf will come off the field. Some of the first team attack and midfielders off. Brad Acomb is also on the bench for this rush. Angus White will see some time, number 5. So second line players getting a shot here to try to get the ball into the goal. Tom Blazinski out there, number 17. Along with James Wright, number 24.
Again, they're all bunched up in the crease, nobody behind. You got to have the attack rotating around, and they have to rotate it such so that they're backing up the crease.
Tom Blazinski. They work it around the perimeter. At the top of the box, Colomb is still out there, though. He's their main man. Good spin move, but lost his footing. CBA tries to regain. Shad Hanrahan with a cross on it. Starts the break, going the other way.
This is what CBA likes, unsettled situations.
Zepp started that one, Joe. Matt Smith now regains possession, and they'll set it up.
Fiscom was all alone, Dave, until that ball was dropped. Had they gone cross crease, this close defense wasn't ready for that at all.
Albany at the top of the box will set the offense, and they'll get things going. There's Viscom, already has 1 goal so far. Bogle is on the left wing. Under 6 minutes, third quarter. 1 goal lead for CBA, trying to extend that to 2. Matt Smith, right-handed cradle. Guerrera, Stoutinger, and Bracey out there on defense. And Viscom pays the price. Guerrera just hammered him. A lot of checking, physical play as Smith went down. Viscom went down. They're smaller players, and Guerrero's got a lot of size, just buried him. A couple of big-time checks from defensemen and the captain on defense, Mike Guerrera, and it causes a turnover, Joe. That was very physical, effective play.
At first thing you might have seen the foot of a CBA player kick the ball out of bounds, but prior to that there was a loose ball push, and it turns over the ball to Fulton.
So try as they might, CBA cannot shake the Red Raiders loose. Just a 1-goal game now on the clear defense. That's one problem they've had. Crisp passing. Trying to defeat the ride D of the brothers of CBA. Good spin move. Wally Metcalf bringing in, pays the price. Bounce shot. That one just went wide, as it may have got a piece of the pipe.
I thought it
Kimball
did.
got the pipe. Now slow whistle called.
2 flags.
Couple of flags go down, and we'll sort out the mess. With 4:56 left in the third quarter.
Let's see if it's on 2 separate players. Looks like it is.
We have at least 1 slash, maybe 2 being called. We'll see.
I think we got 2 slashes. That means that Fulton's going to be 2 men down. There's 1.
It's like 2 are going to the box.
No, we had a push. We had a slash and a push.
So 2 players. We'll take a look at all the action.
1 for a
130 and 130.
Yeah, 30-second technical for a push, and then we had a 1-minute slash. Take a look at the shot that hit the pipe. This is a nice quick look. Bingo, right off. The goalie looks around and says, oh my God, I missed it. But it hit the pipe, his best friend, and it popped right out again. Nice look by Fulton, because as soon as they got the ball in his stick, he just quick sticked it, didn't cradle it. And that's what you got to do when you get the shot in the crease.
Wally Metcalf, Steve Soloway, Joe, are guilty on the fouls.
Boxed up defense by Fulton, because they're going to be 2 men down for half a minute. Of course, if they come up with the ball and break down the other end, Dave, they'll release both penalties.
Hancock overthrows Albany. That's a shot that you don't like to see if you're Coach Tom O'Hara. A pass that goes over your teammate's cross in a situation like this.
Okay. CBA's man up now because the half-minute penalty release. So Fulton is 1 man down, and CBA having a man-up situation for another half a minute. They should be pressuring the ball.
Red Raiders try to break out. Good burst of speed. Chris Kozlowski takes a big hit, though, at midfield. Mike Albany belted him, but Kozlowski retains possession. Did a great job of fighting off the defense.
He drew 2 men, got through them.
Loose ball in front. Labarge had a cross on it, finally rakes it into his crease, and he'll break out. Again, a long outlet pass. But a beautiful play as it goes right to his teammate Mike Albany, who breaks out. Viscom was open for a moment, but they lost him on the break-in. Dave Viscom, 1 goal already in the game. Steve Zepp with it. Team's kind of slowing the pace down, Joe. We've seen that throughout most of the game. Couple of breaks, but for the most part, slow, deliberate.
Wonder how much
offense.
the weather contributes to that.
Yeah, I think it's got to have a lot of effect. Zepp trying to work, bounces that one. It was stopped in front, blocked first. And Guerrera gets a long stick on it, and he's got a full head of steam, bring it the other way. Red Raiders on a break. Guerrera, good stick handler for a big man. They had it to Colomb, the main man on offense, and a whistle. Slash is called. Looks like it's going to go against CBA. It should be in that zone.
No, I think it's
so we have Fulton player coming back into that box. Guerrera is called, and he's the man who brought it in. I don't think Coach Bruning understands exactly what happened.
Well, it was...
But his best defender's now in the box for a minute. He's asking Mike Guerrera exactly what happened.
My eyes were following the lead play. I was not looking. The trail official is the one who made the call, and I didn't see it. It was out of my eyes anyway.
So now CBA gets a break, takes over. Chris Bogle starts play, top of the box. He's got it.
Oh, there's... See, you can't be
Albany
flat-footed.
Throws that one. Zepp had a shot at it, but missed it. Dave Viscom scoops it up.
That's what I meant, David. You can't be flat-footed when you're passing and catching in lacrosse. The ball's going to go any number of ways. You're going to drop it. Yeah, keep your feet moving.
Mike Albany on the far side. Viscom nearly lost it, but good job to stay in bounds. Slow whistle, penalty coming. Bounce shot put up, stop, good play made by the goaltender, Adam Crandall. That was put on in the corner by Mike Albany. Looks like a procedure call coming up.
Got a procedure call by Paul Stockwell. I'm not sure in what it was. CBA's taking a timeout right now. Fulton wants to sort out exactly what's going on, so it's a very fortuitous timeout for them. You know, there are a couple procedure penalties that are going to be time-served penalties that weren't before. It used to be that you'd warn somebody if they didn't have a mouthpiece in, for example. Now that team warning is taking place in the beginning of the game, and anytime there's a violation during the game, a mouthpiece out or the kid's just chewing on the corner of it, that's a half minute, or a loss of possession if you've got the ball. Not sure that that might have been the case.
So the clock stopped, Joe. 2:35 to go in the third quarter. And all the fans enjoying the action. You can see right in front of our broadcast setup the youngest fan there with the bonnet and some others.
Future All-Americans
just
with the
getting
stick.
started. Maybe some future Syracuse Orangemen.
Get a stick in their hands early. That's beautiful.
What a day to practice,
huh?
huh?
I guess
Perfect.
so. The most successful lacrosse programs in Central New York are those that have, you know, the Pee Wee League, the little kids getting started real early in life, getting used to pass and catch. And once you get the fundamental skills down, then you begin to teach them how to play as a team. But if they can pass and catch, the teams that have always been emerging as leaders in the league have always had junior high, modified programs, and summer leagues.
So after the timeout by the brothers, 2:35 left here in the third. No scoring so far in the third quarter, Joe.
Had a couple miscues. There have been some near misses. A couple plays where they got the ball into the crease area, then someone to drop it. A couple shots that went wide, and of course a few penalties.
Back to the action off the timeout.
Fulton again having to box it up on defense because they're down 2 men.
Steve Zepp trigger play. Albany try to feed inside, whistle, bodies all over the place. Looks like a crease violation or maybe even a push, though. Looks like it's going to go against Fulton.
Yeah, they tried to force the ball into a very tight box area, too. There was a loose ball push, and you're going to see the ball staying in CBA's hands. The ball's going to be fed to the crease, and look at the cast of thousands in there. All the green shirts just converge on them. You got 2 men up. There's no reason you shouldn't be moving the ball around to spread the defense.
Officials have stopped play again with 2:18 to go, third quarter. And Tom O'Hara will get a briefing on what's happening. Kimball scored once for Fulton. Chris Colombe has scored the other 2 goals, those in the second period, make it a 4-3 score after the first half.
If you're questioning the stoppage in play, sometimes during the course of a game, someone can really get into the game vocally, and that can be a little disruptive to the play of the game, and the officials have a right to ask the home team coach to have that enthusiastic person or persons relax a bit, because they don't want to take anything away from the sportsmanship of the game and the field of play, the action on the field of play. And the crash you heard was the press box collapsing that we're in, I think.
Certainly hope not.
I hope not.
Let's get back to the action, shall we?
That works. The goaltender's got the ball, and the crease is open. You got to...
Crease is wide open. CBA, a 2-on-1, a defenseman back, a bounce shot and a score. CBA takes advantage as Kevin Langen gets his second goal of the game. He scored to make it a 2-0 game back in the first quarter, and they took advantage of a very risky play by Adam Crandall. You know, Coach Bruning talked about Crandall wanting to become like another defenseman, a 4th defenseman out there who likes to move it around and play a lot out of the crease. That was a risky play, and it turned out snake eyes on the gamble for the Red Raiders.
Exactly right. They were talking about Crandall and the close defense senior leadership being very, very strong. But, you know, got Crandall, he's only... he's a starting goalie, but he'd almost be like, what was it, Pelham from Syracuse? He used to like to run up half the field. Remember? He'd be way out there. In fact, the close defense would be back there trying to figure out where's he going. But Crandall just wasn't able to pull it off, and now they're down 2 with a minute 57 to go.
Red Raiders coming in with a 1-2 record, trailing by 2 now. Called another timeout. Talk things over. Try to get the offensive flow back. There's a minute 57 left in the third quarter, and we will take yet another look at the goal scored moments ago by Kevin Langen, number 34, his second of the game. And you see the risk, the play made by Adam Crandall, number 10, how far, Joe, he's out of the crease.
Well, again, what the defense wants to do is force the long pass. They get it. Now, Crandall's way out there, ready to set the clear, but they converge on him, and he doesn't draw his cross in. What he needs to do is have in mind somebody who's going to dish off to if he gets covered. But that was good hustle by CBA's number 34, Langen, and just heads-up play to go back and attack the crease, knowing that he had the goalie out of there.
That was Dan Sturgis, who was back on defense. He plays some goaltending, plays some goals in addition to working on face-offs and doing the job with a long stick. So he is a jack of all trades.
Hats blowing off at the stats table down there as they're trying to keep the numbers. I tell you, when it's windy like this and rainy, then they usually wear like plastic bags, or they have their scorebooks inside the plastic bags. It's a nightmare.
Red Raiders have won a face-off, and that has been a problem with their game today. And they'll try to break it the other way. Chris Kozlowski, who served the penalty moments ago, top of the box, trying to get an advantage. He may have a shot, left-handed shot, good save though. Labarge stopped it cleanly, and yet another flag has been dropped. So it's funny, Joe, the game was called, I thought, fairly loosely in the first half, and now the officials are calling a lot. It has continued to be a lot of physical action.
Oh, that slash was called as he was cutting to the crease. The defender out of position probably tried to compensate for that by getting his cross up there, and the cross came up either too high or too low, or it just was too aggressive a check. The check area for a lacrosse player is from the neck to the waist. Anything above that is a slash.
Wally Metcalf in there. Colombe, good feed inside as he tried to hit Kimball, who's already got 1 goal. physical play, and as Shad Hanrahan gets hit, there's going to be another penalty against Chad Kimmel, number 11, who pushes him over. An illegal hit against the Red Raiders with 1:15 left in the third.
Well, the flags are dropping like someone's dropping their laundry basket. There's a technical 30, and he had his cross up there. Take a look at it on the replay. Hustling for the loose ball. CBA comes up with it, and then as he turns, see the cross way up in there? Right up in the neck area. Cross-check hold, I think he might have called him.
A 5-3 game. Eric Labarge is set to trigger play behind the goal as soon as we have it set with the officials. Minute 15 to go in the third. They'll now trigger play from midfield after the equipment problem with the brothers. Players are now set to go, and we're underway. Look at the penalties. You can see 9 from Fulton. They have dominated in that stat as well. CBA has done well with it, taken advantage.
Certainly not a stat you want to dominate. That's numbers of penalty minutes, that's for sure.
The CBA has done well with a man up. Smith behind the cage.
Go to the crease, go to the crease. No one's picking you up.
Viscom avoids the traffic, shoots and scores. Dave Viscom has got his 5th goal of the year, 2nd of the game, and makes it a 6-3 lead with 44 seconds to go. He paid the price, though, as you can see, still down after scoring it. He was hit hard, and he had the rib cage and
might have got the wind knocked out of him.
Stomach area exposed as he went up. We'll take another look.
Watch, the ball's going to come over to Viscom right at you, and then he's going to have no one on him. He realizes that too, and I said cut to the crease. He does, and it's a long time before the green shirt comes up there. They pick up, he gets the shot off, he's extended, and right after that, just out of the camera range, he gets popped. Take a look at it again. Ball coming around from behind, and there's Viscom waiting for the shot. Defender starts to come up there. You can't score from behind, but you can shoot from over here. Look at no one there. Now they come over and adjust to him, but they overplay him. He roll dodges, and then the shot comes up there, and they pop him.
I think it was the ankle. It may have been the ankle. It looked like on that replay that Guerrero stepped on his left foot, and as he came down, you can see it's the knee or the ankle, definitely, Joe, because he wasn't hit that hard.
That's right. It was a high pop. It wasn't anything that took the wind out of him, but it was...
So it had to be a knee or somewhere in the leg there, and you can see they're working on that left leg. It looked like Guerrero stepped on it as he came down, and there was nowhere for the rest of the body to go. Foot was immobilized for a moment. 44 seconds left, third quarter. 4-3 game at half is now extended to a 6-3 brother lead. Viscom getting his 2nd goal to make it a 6-3 game. Fans enjoying the nice weather, and if they're CBA fans, enjoying a 6-3 lead at this point. Everyone kind of holding their breath around here now, hoping that Dave Viscom is all right.
He's played well. It'd be sad to see him out of the game because of an injury. Hopefully this might be, as you said, a hyperextension or a slight twist. But he's been down for a while. He's in the seated position, so that's gratifying.
There's Chris Colomb, who has a couple of goals, key player for Fulton. If the Red Raiders are going to come back, Joe, they need him to have a big push in the 4th quarter.
Sunshine, sunglasses, something Central New York hasn't seen in a long time.
The word sun and Syracuse do not go together well. At least until today, it has just been super. Here, a nice round of applause, and there he is. Dave Viscom coming off under his own power. That is a very good sign. It could have been a serious injury.
Seems like up in the quadricep there, the way he's walking, he keeps lifting his leg, trying to get some movement there. Not sure.
Looks like a little bit of a smile from him, so happy to get the goal, certainly, and give his team a 3-goal lead. Heading down the stretch here of the 3rd quarter.
I'm glad to see he's up and around, but there was a point I made earlier in the game when CBA made a break to the cage. They took the shot, and nobody even checked them. And I said, you've got to let them know you're there as a defender so they remember it the next time they come in. I'm not saying that you go out there and try to injure anybody. That's certainly not the case, but you make a good legal hit on somebody when you let them that close to your cage.
Chad Kimball will face off. He takes it this time along with Rob Paltz. So head-to-head, Paltz and Kimball, and one more time, CBA will win it. They've dominated. Joe Warwick, who has contributed offensively. He has a goal. Smith behind the cage. Good play defensively. Guerrero intercepts. He's a good one, no doubt about it.
He's got range and height.
Good speed as he bursts into the offensive zone. Colomb tried to feed in front. Kimball was cutting to the cage. They couldn't quite find him. Guerrero off. They've got another short stick midi on the field. Kozlowski, top of the cage area. That's Blazinski, and that is the end of the third quarter. So 3 periods of play now in the books from CBA. It was all brothers in the third quarter, 2-0 for Fulton. We will find out when we come back if the Red Raiders can catch up. 6-3 after 3.
Lacrosse, the power behind the game.
First-year head coach Joe Bruning, a former assistant a couple of years. He took a year off to get his master's degree. Now he's back, leading the Red Raiders of Fulton, coming in with a 1-2 record. After losses to Skaneateles and Webster, they had a win over Salmon River and hoping to get a Division II win here today against rival CBA. But to do that, Joe, they've got a rally here in the fourth. They're down 6-3.
They sure do. Those who remember the Fulton program over the last couple of years, Coach Werbeck went on to become a vice principal at Central Square. Joe Brunig had assisted him for a number of years, and as you said, after he took his master's, he stepped in as head coach. So future in administration for Coach Werbeck, and future with sideline headaches for Coach Brunig.
Good kind of headaches, though.
I think
right?
so. He's very happy. He's thrilled to be back with the program. And now he's number one man, and we'll see what he's doing.
10 minutes back up on the clock. Fourth quarter ready to go. Teams switch ends now. CBA will move from your left to right, and Fulton the other way. Chad Kimball trying to win the face-off, but CBA one more time gaining possession, at least for the moment. Rob Paltz had it.
Paltz is on the roster as a second string face-off man, but he's been doing really well. Okay, ball's loose. We got a push. Let's see which way they're going with it. It's going to be Fulton ball.
Red Raiders will start it in the person of Chad Kimball, who came in with 5 goals and assists for 6 points. Captain on the attack, and they've taken a timeout.
That was fast. 19 seconds into the period, they call a timeout. Something really radically wrong. Can't figure out what it might be because they got a whole period left. Might need it later. Get 3 timeouts per half. I don't remember how many Fulton has this half, but
well, CBA, a team that was pretty young coming in, only 5 or 6 seniors, and Coach O'Hara told us before the game that last year some of the players lacked that really aggressive, intense attitude that you want to see as a coach. The team kind of struggled a year ago, didn't have the kind of season that he would want to in his first year. This year, a younger group, more enthusiastic, and they've done well.
He's happy, as you said, with a big, strong defense and a solid junior goalie. And they do like transition. They do like fast-paced ball. How they gel as a team, how those underclassmen mature, and they come together as a team of 10. That's the question that remains, and he's only had the 1 game so far. He's positioned right well going into the fourth period, leading by 3 goals, but I don't think he's that comfortable yet because they match up pretty well, and Fulton can come back quite easily, as they have done during the course of the game.
There you see it.
There's a number of timeouts left, too. CBA with 2 and Fulton with only 1, as the scoreboard indicates, so that must have been something interesting that Coach Bruning saw to force a timeout for him there.
Chris Kozlowski will trigger play, top of the box. He is watched by Rob Paltz on defense. Red Raiders need something. Kozlowski was open for a moment, flipped in, and what a play and a goal. Inside, it looked like Kimball just kind of shoveled that one home. Chad Kimball, number 11, gets the goal, his second of the game. What a play, and a good job to create by Kozlowski.
Oh, I'm laughing because it's reminiscent of a hockey play where it kicks off someone's stick. Look at it. The ball goes into his cross. He kind of backflips it. Just backflipped it. Nice look. I don't know if he intended to do that or it was checked out of his cross. I think it was a little bit of both.
I think a combination, yeah, Joe, for sure.
Because he looked around, and I guess he was as surprised and as thrilled as anyone else, and it was certainly the kind of shot that caught the CBA goaltender completely off guard. And Kozlowski had the shot because he was close enough anyway, but he dished into the crease, and it worked. Big face-off.
Kimball wins the face-off after scoring the goal from Pultz moments ago. Good feed inside as they tried to work it to Wally Metcalf. And he had a man cutting toward the goal, open for a moment. Turnover, CBA takes it back over. 9:12 left in the fourth, a 6-4 game. We'll see if the Red Raiders can ride some momentum after the shovel score. Wasn't even looking at the goal.
That's right. They came this close to getting 2 quick goals because that play off the face-off to feed to the crease, had that been on target, there was a nice look, and they could have scored 2 quick goals within a few seconds.
Chad Hanrahan, long stick defenseman. They'll take their time with a 2-goal lead on the clear. Matt Hennessy, good spin move, tries across the midfield line, hacked from behind, but he may have stepped on the sideline, Joe. I believe he did.
That's the thing. When you're on a
Turnover
crease,
on the far side.
when you're trying to clear, you want to force a guy coming upfield to the sideline. Use the sideline as an extra defender. That's exactly what they did. It was a nice ride, forced a turnover.
There's Romulo Casano, number 25, back into the CBA lineup on defense. He's a player they want to match up with Chris Colomb as much as possible because of the size. That one broken up. John Warwick had a stick on that for a moment. Red Raiders will try to reset. Fulton on offense. Trying to get something going. Mahalik from the top of the box. They get the shot off and another goal with 8:21 to go. Jake Mahalik, who only had a couple of shots so far in the first 3 games. No goals, but give him the first goal of the year as he just kind of pulled the trigger quickly and surprised everyone, Joe.
Perfect shot, though. Overhand shot, not sidearm, overhand. Bounce shot that just positioned in such a way that it skimmed into the crease area. Watch as you look over his shoulder. An overhead shot. It hits right at the goalie's feet and just trickles in. And we have a 1-goal game with 8:21 to go. The timeout may have been very fortuitous for Fulton because they're only down a goal with 8:21 left. Unfortunately, they have only 1 time left if they need it. But they're back in this game, that's for sure.
So Jake Mahalik gets it. What a time to give Coach Joe Bruining Mahalik's first goal of the year. Good spin move, Dave Hancock. Slow whistle. We may have a hold or a slash coming up. There will be a penalty against Fulton as soon as they can gain some kind of control. Smith lost it, and that'll be it. So we'll have a penalty coming up, and a man-up situation is looking right at CBA.
It's a 1-minute slash.
1-minute slash call.
I think it's number 17 for Fulton. And if it is, it's Tom Blazinski.
Blazinski will draw it. He's in the box for a minute. And that really hurts considering, Joe, they just cut the lead to 6-5 and had some momentum. 2 straight goals here in the fourth.
Exactly, Dave. That's got to drive coaches nuts because, you know, you just get back in there, you got momentum. You lose a face-off, but that's not fatal. But then when you make that kind of a play and then go man down, you're almost handing it a goal to him on the platter.
Viscom triggers play. He'll start it off. Now working around the cage. Steve Zepp is out there on this attack. Albany looking for another goal. Bounced that one through the crease.
He went left-handed on that one.
By Adam Crandall. Good play by Viscom to scoop it back out. Chris Bogle's going to have a shot at it. Try to feed high for Dave Hancock, who lost it initially. He'll regain.
Those of you in Central New York watching lacrosse in the Courier Dome, you notice when the ball hits the ground here, it dies. Not like artificial. Not going
anywhere.
No, sir, not on artificial turf here.
Major difference. Viscom behind the cage, Joe, works it around. Hancock top of the box. He's got Bogle. He'll feed him. Fulton looks a little tired on defense. Albany trying to cut inside, going through 2 and 3 players. There's a kick, that's illegal. That'll be a violation.
I think it might have had either a cross-check hold or some sort of a push. I know the ball was in the hands of a CBA defender, or in the cross of a CBA defender. See what Paul Stockwell's got here. It's a technical 30 on a push.
Technical push, you got it. So another violation against the Red Raiders. This time it is against number 28, Mike Stoutinger.
And talk about handing them a goal on the platter. They're two men down for a little bit. They've been in this situation more than once this game, though. They've had 2 men in the penalty box, or penalty area, more than once.
7:05, Albany on the right wing. Trying to get that other goal. Another man coming out defensively for the Red Raiders. Sturgis comes out. They clear 1 man out. Stoutinger still in the box. In front, Vogel had that one slapped away. Guerrero regains. Tried to hit Sturgis breaking out. Wally Metcalf nearly had a cross on it. CBA the other way. Langham already has 2 goals. Fires that one a little bit wide. Way out of his crease is Crandall, who's hit on the ground there, and a violation will go against CBA on a push. Turnover back to the Red Raiders, Joe.
Nice job by Fulton. They were down 2 men, and then when they were released the 1 penalty, and they went from 4 defenders to 5, they had to make adjustments and pick up numbers. They did that so well that CBA wasn't able to find an open man. CBA also had the ball behind at the time.
6:26 and counting. 4th period. Red Raiders trying to tie this game. Shot, goal! One more time, Chad Kimball puts it in. Right in front, Chad Kimball with his 3rd goal of the game. He's got the hat trick with 6:19 to go. It's tied.
If you're CBA, you got to be getting stomach ulcers because you had it all going your way. You had them down 2 men, then you were down a man, but you turned the ball over on a push. And now the transition goal, exactly the kind of style you like to play as a team, comes back and haunts you. There he is, nice quick, off the shoulder. The goalie didn't see the origin of the shot because he had it, screened by his body as he pivoted around.
Paul's will go head-to-head with Fulton at midfield. Procedure call before we even got things going, lifting that stick off the ground, Joe, and the call's against CBA.
Coming unrattled. Got to settle him down a little bit. Maybe you change a couple personnel. Maybe you call timeout. We'll see what happens on this offensive set for Fulton, because if they come in with a goal right now, then CBA is going to probably want to regroup.
Red Raiders take it over. Tie game, 6-6. You've been tied, obviously, at 0-0, and a few other times at 2-all. Again at 3-all. They were down 6-3, scored 3 straight goals in the second half to tie the game at 6 apiece. Brad Acomb, one of the top offensive players, tried to feed Kimball, who's looking for a 4th goal, was kicked for a moment. Regaining there, number 42, Shad Hanrahan. Long outlet pass, nearly broken up by Tom Blazinski. Physical play. Stoutinger trying to check some people. Langham got hit. Kimball tried to rake it in. He lost it near midfield. Ball still loose. Big time battle for it. Players dropping left and right. Heading down to the 5:30 mark. Chris Colomb nearly had a shot at it. Comes away to Dave Hancock.
He's doubled, 2 men on him. Somebody's got to be open.
Hancock up the sideline is crushed outside of the line. No call, though. Ball
That's going to be off CBA.
Sideline. Whistle and push call, and that's going to go the other way.
That would have been off a CBA cross, but the push on Fulton, number 26, forces the ball to go back to the white shirt, so CBA comes up with a nice transition play there. Very fortunate. A lot of chaos in the middle of the field there, wasn't it?
It's been pretty wild in the midfield the whole game. Very physical as well.
When you get that kind of, everybody's like gardeners or raking. You got to step through a ground ball, kick it out of there, get open somehow. And that's what they
got hit hard. Penetrating. Warwick has already scored this game. Somehow kept on his feet, got it back. He's just being hammered left and right. Big battle. Players just dropping all over the place. Kozlowski had a shot at it. And he finally looks to break out into the offensive zone.
There's a phrase in lacrosse called man, ball. I got the man, you go for the ball. I hadn't heard a lot of people yelling out and communicating. That's what you got to do in lacrosse. It's a talking sport.
Metcalf tried to get a shot off.
Right in the sun. That was a bad toss. But they come up with it anyway.
Shad Hanrahan with a long stick. He had Paltz open in the middle, but he elects to take it up himself. Hanrahan's going to shoot. Nope, had it poked away at the last moment. Guerrero tries to regain with a long stick for the Red Raiders. He's got a shot at it, trying to push it forward.
Offside.
We've got an offside call. Fulton leaned over. So CBA takes over again. The white shirts get it back with 4:17 left in the fourth. It's a tie game at 6-all.
Kimball leaned over the midfield line. And they became offside as a result of his leaning over there, and he wasn't pushed in the process. Coming up with the ground ball, there he is, right there. Hands on the other side of the field. The beauty of a replay, when you're an official, you wish you had the advantage of this.
I mean, you can't see them every time just like that, Joe? Come on, I thought you had the eagle eyes out there.
There are people who think we do.
Hancock, top of the box. Albany, who has scored in this game early on the right wing, trying to break this 6-6 deadlock. That pass overthrown, but again, the moisture in the field just holds the ball up. On turf, Joe, that's going to be all the way into the midfield.
Oh, easily, easily.
Viscom,
nice look.
Feed, inside, bounce shot, that one went just wide.
Nice look.
Steve Zepp had a shot at it. There, it goes out in front, and Bogle puts it in. Number 23, Chris Bogle. Gets a big goal and breaks the tie. His 5th goal of the season. He was 4-2 against Lafayette in the season opener. First goal today, it's 7-6 now with 3:37 to go in the fourth.
Nice quick stick. The ball's behind, it's flipped up to the center, and then you get a quick shot, goes wide the first time. Now here's Bogle. He'll make overhand shot and bounces it right in. Nice look. Actually, he went high on that one. Take a look. The feed comes from behind again. Dish to Bogle. Left-handed quick stick. Goes high on the goalie's stick side. I'm sorry, it's the offside. The goalie was holding this across the other way.
So that breaks a tie. Stops a 3-goal Fulton run. They had come back from a 6-3 deficit. Kimball and Paltz battle, and Bogle, who just scored a moment ago, has got it. CBA trying to use the momentum off that Chris Bogle goal and keep things going.
That was a big face-off, by the way, just getting the ball down at this end, because had Fulton come up with it, they were obviously anxious to get momentum back their way. This fast break might do it.
Kozlowski breaking into the offensive zone. Trying to feed off. He did. They lost it just for a moment. 3 minutes even to go. Players on the field after a hit between Romulo Casano and the charging Fulton players. 3 minutes on the button to go, fourth quarter.
That's unfortunate. Fulton comes all the way down the field, creates a very nice unsettled situation, and they dish the ball off. Now they're going for the loose ball, and you're going to see the push from behind there while the ball's on the ground on Fulton. The player who did the push and stayed on the ground a pretty long time. I thought he injured himself. It's a big clear attempt, and we'll see what kind of ride Fulton does. Okay, he's in the crease. He's got a 4-second count to get out of there.
LaBarge works it on the far side.
Got to get him.
Hanrahan with a long stick.
I started to say you got to get a mini breaking back, and they did.
Albany with it, top of the box, charging, passing in front. Langen was there as he cut right toward the goal in the crease, made a good feed attempt just off his cross.
Good pressure, but it's off the white. It bounced right off his chest and it went out of bounds.
.224, Joe, left in the fourth quarter. A nip-and-tuck game between these two rivals in Division II.
It's a nice beginning of the season for us on Cable 13. We've had a dandy. It's going both ways. We had momentum changes, some decent scoring. Started off slow. Be nice to see these two teams later in the year when they play again. You know,
have some experience, some playing time under their belts. It's tough. Guerrero nearly lost it on the sideline, keeps it in bounds. Heading down to 2 minutes now left of the fourth. Tough pass. Sturgis made a good play for a big man. Good hands into the offensive zone. Cologne, good feed. Kimball put that one just wide. Good opportunity. It's out of bounds, and CBA closest to it. They'll try to clear it away.
The ball comes down to Fulton's offensive end again. You might want to keep an eye on Kimball in the crease. He's been getting a lot of passes to him, and the defender has not had a cross on his cross to slap check it away. So if they can feed Kimball, his quick stick has been effective.
Albany lost that one in the sun, Joe. For a moment, had no idea where it was. He's got it back. And the man who scored moments ago, Chris Bogle, has got it.
If you get a shot high from the bench side, right from this angle here, it's in the sun, and it's going to be tough for the goaltender. We're inside 2 minutes, so the stall warning is in effect. CBA leading the ball game is being told to keep it in the box. If they lose it outside the box, they lose possession.
Minute 20 to go. Red Raiders are going to have to play some aggressive defense here. Bogle lost it. Ball is loose. Sturgis nearly had a cross on it. Albany shoots. That was just a little bit wide to the left of the goaltender, Adam Crandall.
When you got the stall warning, they got to keep it in the box, so why not pressure the ball? They've been pressuring the ball when they come up to the box area all game. Give them some heat in there. Try to turn it over. You're down a goal. You've got a minute 10 to go. You better do something.
Carrera back in. Sturgis out. A minute 10 to go. Fourth quarter, 1-goal game. CBA has the ball and the lead. And certainly the most exciting point of the game so far right here as it comes down to the wire. Langen has a couple of goals today. Tries to keep things going.
He's out of bounds. Out of the box.
You're right. That's a procedure call, and as the clock goes on the field with 59 ticks to go, Fulton's got a chance to tie it up, Joe, so it comes down to this. They do have one timeout remaining. See if they can get the clear and then take it. To talk over their final push. You got to watch out from behind.
You might want to do, if you're CBA, the full court pressure if you were in basketball, and that's exactly what they're doing. A very hard ride.
Oh, what a hit that was from Langen.
Beautiful ride.
Tremendous hit as Metcalf just got hammered by Langen, who has a couple of goals in this game already. Loose ball. Carrera gets a cross on it. He's going to bring it into the offensive zone. 30 seconds to go. Cross-field pass. Will the Red Raiders take a timeout? That's the question. Chance in front. Shot. Kimball is denied. Great save made. Beautiful play by LaBarge.
Super save. He went high.
Only 15 seconds to go, and the game could be over. Metcalf, a hard hit on number 15, Hancock. Down to 7 seconds. The game's going to end. Langen keeps it in play, and that'll do it. It's going to end here, the 7-6 final. Kimball had one chance to do it, and it was a great save made by Eric LaBarge, who came up big. In the final moments of the game, LaBarge makes the save, and he saves the CBA win. So the brothers go to 2-0 on the year. Coach Tom O'Hara's team breathing a sigh of relief at this